DeWanna Bonner, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split ya. What's it? See ya, wouldn't want to be ya.
Well, I don't want to come off the bench is not a personal issue. Well, I don't like my role.
Bonner more like Dana Bounce, because that's exactly what she did, bailed on her team like a diva denied her spotlight. What we just witnessed is peak unprofessionalism, folks, a meltdown of epic proportions from a so-called veteran presence who was supposed to guide the Indiana Fever to a new era. Only to piece out the second things didn't go her way, she bombed her opening games, got benched. And instead of lacing up and grinding, she ran for the hills like it was a recess, and she didn't want to play anymore. If you don't like quitters, then comment good riddance quitter down below. Let's go.
Quay veteran DeWanna Bonner, the team announced. Indiana looked at trade possibilities for the six-time All-Star, who had not played since June 10th, for what the team called, quote, personal reasons. Well, the personal reasons were, from what I could tell, playing time is what I
Let's not sugarcoat this. Bonner clearly thought she was walking into a soft landing spot, a cozy little franchise where she could put her feet up, ride the Caitlin Clark hype train, and snag another season's check without breaking a sweat. What she got instead was a team that's all gas, no brakes, fueled by fire intensity. And the most electric player in recent memory, what Bonner didn't realize is that you don't just show up and get handed minutes. You have to earn them, especially when the stakes are.
DeWanna Bonner out with the old. Aaron McDonald, welcome back in with the new breaking. The Fever are waving. DeWanna Bonner, league sources told the Indy Star, then re-signing Aaron McDonald. Bonner requested a trade after feeling she couldn't find a role on the team after getting benched, along with bevy of other reasons as we covered yesterday. But Indiana could not find a suitable trade.
When Bonner inked that deal back in February, she must have imagined a laid-back season playing sidekick to the Caitlin Clark phenomenon. But what she walked into was a squad that had undergone a total transformation thanks to Clark. Indiana isn't just another WNBA team. They're the show. Every game's a headline, every possession magnified, every play under a microscope. Bonner wasn't ready for that kind of intensity. She thought she'd ease into the spotlight. But it turns out the Heat.
DeWanna Bonner signs a free agent contract with the Indiana Fever. And after a handful of games, wants a Fever exit, apparently. And that is a strange situation, right? Because she was embraced. She had her achievement at the beginning of the season, moving up the scoring ranks. They were referring to her as Mama Bear in training camp, and now all of a sudden that has fallen apart. She was out of the starting lineup, hadn't really produced that much, particularly on the offensive end, and this, looks poor on the franchise when it comes to the free agent moves. In retrospect, the team that they put together in the offseason, I don't think it reflects well on DeWanna Bonner, whose absence was for quote-unquote personal reasons, but now it seems like she was just upset with the team and the situation overall, and it adds more drama to what has been a drama-filled season for Caitlin Clark.
From the jump, it was crystal clear she didn't have it. Her stat line from the first 3 games, a staggering 2.66 points per game, while shooting a dreadful 2 of 12. That's not a veteran presence, that's a ghost in a jersey. So Coach Stephanie White did what any coach with eyes and a clipboard would do. She pulled the plug, benched her, gave those minutes to Lexie Hull, a player with hunger, hustle, and something to prove.
Her minutes had significantly dropped from last year. Well, in turn, if her minutes drop, a lot of her production numbers that she can see and the rest of the league can see also dropped with it. Look, she's just like Natasha Howard. She looks old on the court. All right, I'm not trying to be this is not ageism. She looks like an older athlete. All right, she looks slower on the court, and the team has been lacking energy. It's been a serious problem. Seriously, long overdue. Let her go to the place where she feels she would be the best.
She couldn't fit with the rotations of the team. She's upset that Lexie Hull took her spot. That's the truth. Little blonde girl girl from next door took her spot. That's what it was. Well, Lexie Hull is a good basketball player. I think she earned that spot, in my opinion, and she's shooting very well from the three. She's an excellent three-point shooter this season. She's a sniper this season. And she hustles. She gets rebounds. She gets steals. She puts her heart out every single game.
And how did Bonner take it gracefully, professionally? Not even close. She responded like a kid who got benched in Youth Rec League instead of staying. And competing, she threw a tantrum, figuratively of course, and asked for a trade. The official reason: it wasn't the right fit. Translation: I'm not used to not being the center of the universe. Bonner didn't just leave the starting lineup. She left the whole building. Here's where it gets extra embarrassing. She didn't stick around to support her. Teammates didn't show up for 5 straight games, citing personal reasons. Let's call it what it is. Her ego got bruised, and she couldn't handle it. It wasn't about family emergencies or off-court stress. It was about pride. She couldn't stomach the idea that she wasn't the top dog anymore, not when Clark was right there electrifying crowds and changing the league.
So the truth is, DeWanna Bonner was butthurt. That's what it comes down to. She was butthurt. Her ego was bruised, and she wanted to cry and leave. This is a shame. See, if you're truly a team player, you accept that Lexie Hull's better than you. You accept being a role player and contribute of the way you can. And why do you even care at this point? You're 37 years old. You're making a lot of money for a WNBA player. Why not just ride it out? I don't understand that. You know what it was? She missed her boo thing in Phoenix, and she just want to wiggle her way out so she can go to Phoenix. That's all it was.
This goes deeper than stats or playing time. This is about character, and Bonner's character didn't just crack, it collapsed. She was supposed to be the veteran leader who helped this young roster weather the storm of stardom. But the moment the spotlight got hot, she vanished. It wasn't just the pressure that broke her, it was the realization that Caitlin Clark had already stolen the narrative, that fans weren't chanting her name, that jersey sales weren't moving because of her, that she was a side note. Not the headline, the envy obvious, the drama peak petty. She spent her career flying under the radar on successful teams, sure. But in the shadows now, all of a sudden, she's in the eye of a cultural movement. And she choked. Bonner couldn't handle the fact that every ticket, every camera, every trending moment belonged to a 23-year-old sophomore who's done more for women's basketball in 6 months than Bonner managed in over a decade.
Long story short, DB thought her role was going to be one thing. She came in playing terrible, got benched, and was upset about it. Long story short, Shorty got her record and dipped. That's low-key crazy, y'all. Shorty dipped from the team for personal reasons for 5-6 games and then said she has no intentions on coming back? Because you sucked this year? She really had to be a double agent, dog. There's no way. She a career 29% three-point shooter, but she was shooting 30-footers with us. No bullshit. Like, it's no way. She was missing layups. She was getting blown by, like...
Anybody with any intuition could sort of see that this was getting odd. The amount of time that she had missed with no explanation as to why, no timeline on her return, not making the road trip, all of these things, the lack of information and the basic mystery would be enough to get anybody's spidey sense tingling about this situation. But on top of that, I'll tell you this much. I heard that it was more basketball related than anything else.